I tested onions from 11 UK stores. The results are shocking. What if I told you, the onions sitting in your kitchen right now, might not be what you think they are? Not fresher, not safer, and definitely not all the same. I bought onions from 11 of the biggest UK supermarkets, and what I found, honestly shocked me. Some lasted days, others rotted overnight, some looked perfect, but hid something disturbing beneath the surface, and one of them should never have been on sale in the first place. So the question is, are you unknowingly buying the worst onions in the UK? Because after this test, you might never shop the same way again. Onions are one of the most basic ingredients in British kitchens, used in everything, from Sunday roasts, to curries, to late-night takeaways. We trust them. We don't question them, but what if that trust is misplaced? Behind the shelves of major supermarkets, there's a hidden world of supply chains, storage shortcuts, and quality compromises. And no one's really talking about it. Until now. So I ran a full investigation. Same week, same conditions. 11 different UK stores. I tested freshness, shelf life, taste, internal quality, and something most people never check. What I discovered reveals a side of supermarket produce most shoppers never see, and trust me. It gets worse the deeper we go. Storytelling Section 1. The experiment begins. It started with a simple idea: buy onions from the UK's most popular supermarkets, take them home, test them fairly. No bias. No tricks, just the truth. So I visited Tesco. Sainsbury's, Asda, Morrisons, Aldi, Lidl, Waitrose. Co-op Iceland, Marks Spencer, and one local independent grocer, same type. Same day, same storage conditions. At first glance, they all looked fine. Golden skins, firm texture, nothing unusual, but looks can be deceiving. Because within just 48 hours, the first signs of trouble appeared. And one store failed almost immediately. Section 2. The first red flags. Day 2. I checked every onion, most were holding up. But not all. One batch had already started to soften, another showed dark patches beneath the skin, and one had an odor. A faint, sour smell. That's not normal. Onions are supposed to last weeks, not days. So what was going on? Poor storage, old stock, or something deeper in the supply chain? Then came the cutting test. And that's when things took a turn. Section 3. Inside the onion. This is where the truth reveals itself. You can't judge an onion from the outside. So I cut them open. One by one. Some were perfect. Crisp, juicy, clean layers, but others. Brown rings, mushy centers, invisible rot hiding beneath the surface. One onion looked flawless, until it collapsed under the knife, completely spoiled inside. And here's the scary part: you wouldn't know until it's already in your food. Would you risk serving that to your family? Because this wasn't a one-off. It happened again and again. And one supermarket stood out for all the wrong reasons. Section 4. The shelf life test. Then came the long game. I stored all onions under identical conditions: cool, dry, well ventilated. Exactly how they should be kept. Then I waited day 3, day 5, day 7. The differences became impossible to ignore. Some onions stayed firm, fresh, reliable, others sprouting early, softening fast, breaking down completely. One batch didn't even make it to day 5. That's not just bad quality. That's wasted money, and it raises a serious question: are some supermarkets cutting corners to keep prices low, or worse, selling stock they know won't last? Section 5. The taste test. Because freshness isn't just about looks. It's about flavor. So I cooked them, same recipe, same method. No seasoning differences, just pure onion flavor. And the results, shocking. Some onions were rich, sweet, balanced, exactly what you expect. Others were bitter, harsh, almost chemical. One had barely any flavor at all, and another left a strange aftertaste. That's when it hit me: not all onions are equal, and some shouldn't be anywhere near your plate. 4. Brand store breakdown. Now, let's break it down, store by store. No filters. No sugarcoating. Tesco looked good, but inconsistent inside. A few hidden defects, not the worst, but not the best. Sainsbury's decent quality overall. Held up well, but slightly weaker flavor. Asda early softening. Short shelf life. Disappointing performance. Morrisons mixed results. Some fresh, some questionable. Aldi great value, but inconsistent quality. A gamble. Lidl surprisingly strong. Good freshness. Better than expected. Waitrose premium price, but excellent quality. Clean, fresh, reliable. Co-op average. Nothing special. Nothing terrible. Iceland weakest shelf life. Spoiled faster than expected. Mark Spencer top tier quality. Fresh. Flavorful. Consistent. Local grocer unexpected winner. Freshest of all. Longest lasting. But here's the twist. The most expensive option wasn't always the best. And the cheapest wasn't always the worst. So what really matters? 5 shocking revelations. Here's what most people don't realize. Onions can sit in storage for months before reaching shelves. Months. In controlled environments. Sometimes treated. Sometimes not. By the time you buy them, they may already be nearing the end of their life. And supermarkets? They don't always rotate stock as carefully as you'd expect. Meaning you could be buying old produce. Hidden defects. Reduced shelf life. All without knowing. And that perfect-looking onion? It might already be breaking down inside. Would you still buy it if you knew? 6 solutions, safe choices. So what can you do? Here's how to protect yourself. Always check firmness. Soft equals bad. Look for dry, tight skin. Avoid onions with strong smells. Buy smaller quantities more often. Store them properly, cool, dry, ventilated. And if possible, support local grocers. Because in this test, they delivered the best quality overall. 7 powerful OUTRO. So next time you pick up a bag of onions, remember this. Not all onions are equal. Not all supermarkets are honest about quality. And what looks fresh might already be failing. This isn't just about onions. It's about what we trust and what we don't question. So ask yourself, is saving a few pence worth the risk? If this opened your eyes, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Because the next investigation might be something you eat every single day. And trust me, you'll want to see it before it's too late. But the real story doesn't start in supermarkets. It starts miles away, in farms, warehouses, and distribution centers most people never see. Because what if I told you, your onion might be older than you think? Much older. In the UK, onions are often harvested in bulk, then stored for months in controlled environments. Temperature controlled. Humidity controlled. Sometimes even gas regulated. This slows down aging. But it doesn't stop it. Over time, onions lose moisture. They weaken. They begin to break down from the inside out. And here's the problem, by the time they reach supermarket shelves, they may already be near the end of their life cycle. That explains the inconsistency. That explains the hidden rot. But it doesn't explain everything. Because something else is happening. Something most shoppers never notice. And once you see it, you won't be able to ignore it. 9. The storage problem no one talks about. Let's talk about what happens after onions arrive at stores. Because this is where things can go very wrong. Onions need specific conditions: cool, dry, ventilated. But in busy supermarkets, that's not always guaranteed. Back rooms get overcrowded. Stock piles up. Rotation isn't perfect. And sometimes, new deliveries get placed in front of older stock. Meaning older onions stay behind, aging quietly, deteriorating slowly. Until someone finally buys them. You. And here's the shocking part, even a few days in the wrong conditions can dramatically reduce shelf life. So when your onions spoil quickly, it might not be your fault. It might not even be your storage at home. It might have already been decided before you even picked them up. But then comes an even bigger question: why do some stores consistently perform worse than others? Is it bad luck? Or something more systematic. 10. Price versus quality, the illusion we all assume one thing, pay more, get better quality. Right? Not always. In this test, some of the cheapest onions outperformed mid-range supermarkets. And some expensive ones didn't justify the price at all. So what's really going on? It comes down to three things: sourcing, storage, turnover. Stores with high turnover sell fresh stock faster, meaning you're more likely to get a better product. But slower stores? Stock sits longer, quality drops. And yet the price doesn't always reflect that. So you could be paying more for an onion that's actually worse. Let that sink in. Because once you realize this, shopping becomes a completely different game. 11. The visual trick that fools everyone. Here's something almost no one talks about. The outer layer of an onion can lie to you. It's designed to protect what's inside. Dry skin, golden color, firm feel. But underneath? A completely different story. In this test, multiple onions passed every external check, but failed internally. Rot, discoloration, breakdown. And the scary part? There's no obvious sign. No warning. Until it's too late. Until you cut it open. Or worse, until you taste it. So how do you avoid it? That's the problem. Even experienced shoppers can get it wrong. Because supermarkets rely on one thing: appearance sells. And as long as it looks good, most people won't question it. But now you know better. And what you're about to see next makes this even more concerning. 12. The worst performer, a complete failure. Out of all 11 stores, one stood out. Not slightly. Not marginally. But dramatically. From day one, something felt off. Softer texture. Less vibrant skin. By day 2, the smell started. By day 3, unusable. Internally, breakdown had already begun. And by day 5, every single onion from that batch was gone. Completely spoiled. That's not just poor quality. That's unacceptable. Because this isn't a rare item. It's a basic staple. Something millions of people buy every week. And yet, this level of inconsistency still exists. So the real question is, how often is this happening, without anyone noticing? 13. The best performer, the unexpected winner. Now for the surprise. The best onions didn't come from the most expensive supermarket. Or the most well-known brand. They came from a place most people overlook. A local grocer. Fresh stock. Short supply chain. High turnover. The difference was obvious. Stronger texture. Cleaner layers. Better flavor. And most importantly, longevity. While others failed, these lasted. Easily. Which proves one thing: freshness isn't about branding. It's about handling. It's about time. And it's about care. Something that mass retail doesn't always prioritize. 14. Final warning: this is bigger than onions at this point. It's no longer just about onions. It's about how food is handled. How it's stored. How it's sold. Because if this can happen with something so simple, what about everything else? Potatoes? Fruit? Meat? How much are we not seeing? How much are we trusting, without question? And most importantly, would you even know if something was wrong? 15. Cliffhanger ending. For continuation, next video. This investigation started with onions. But it doesn't end here. Because what I discovered next, in another everyday food, was even worse. And it's something millions of people eat, every single day. You won't believe what's really going on behind the scenes. So before you shop again, make sure you've seen what's coming next. Final CTA, high retention. If this made you think twice, hit like. If it shocked you, subscribe. And if you've ever had onions go bad too quickly, comment below. Because the more people